Are we living? Are we live? So as I just said, I couldn't start the show live because we're playing music. That was 208L Containers. A great band from New Zealand that you're not allowed to hear. Let's just verify that with the nerds at YouTube.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because it feels so stupid. And you can't call rules stupid if they're not a rule. Then you're stupid. And as we learned yesterday, I lost a lot of IQ points. I didn't like being dumb. Movies are confusing. Craps is impossible. The lyrics to songs scare you. You don't know what you hear loud bangs, you start crying.
You got I Don't Want to Wait stuck in my head yesterday, so I'm not thrilled with that.
Now with my IQ yesterday was 75. I tested it. It's like a COVID test. And today it feels like 103. So not great. Nothing to write home about, but not terrible. Not retarded. But yeah, that now with my new brain, that song, Paula Cole, I Don't Want to Wait. I think it's a woman in World War II who missed her lover, her husband. He came back with battle scars from World War II. So that's a scenario. Here's another scenario. We're in love right now. Let's get married and start living our lives. Because at least you're not getting shot at in the war, which is not a great pitch. I don't know if anyone ever married Paula Cole. Could you look that up?
Not sure.
Because she's not really good at selling herself. Hi, you want to get married? Yeah, maybe. Well, at least you don't have shrapnel in your face. What? Front page of the Post today. This is like the reason I show you the Post is for many reasons, but to show you what's happening, zeitgeist. It kind of dates the show too. Oh, that's when that was going on. I'm also proving that this is live, although I've even had skeptics go, oh yeah, that could be CGI. Okay. So the problem, though, is when it's election week, the New York Post sort of gives up on geopolitics and is totally focused on this city, which is probably boring to the majority of baby monsters, although it's indicative of bigger patterns. But we are down to the wire with this fucking clown. And it never...
Paula Cole update?
Yep.
She was married to a Moroccan guy. They got divorced, and then now she's openly bisexual, which is not a surprise.
So that's what you get, ladies, when you're bad at analogies. Fucked up. You know who can marry a Moroccan? You know which white women in America can marry Moroccans?
Who?
100%. It's an easy get because they're happy to come over here. So that's not impressive. It never ceases to amaze me how badly a city can fuck itself. Like we saw Beetlejuice in Chicago when we went, all right, well, that's the end of that. They've learned their lesson. Bring on the pendulums. We had David Dinkins, who saw a riot, Crown Heights riots, and he just went, oh, shit. It just went on for days, people being murdered, chaos. Ooh,
A
gross.
guy named Owen just super chatted $100. He says, cheers.
Oh, thanks, Owen.
Yeah, cheers to you, Owen.
I already spent it. I lost my clippers at Jay's wedding and just bought a new pair, and I got these $100 ones. If you have a beard you're constantly maintaining, I highly recommend emptying the bank account on clippers because there's nothing worse than those little pinches that you get. These are like, and my neck's nude and this is trimmed. Anyway, thank you, Owen, for so rudely interrupting us. But then they got Brandon Johnson. So we had David Dinkins, terrible. The pendulum swung back. We got Giuliani, saved the city. And then the pendulum swung back into shit. And we had who? Bloomberg? Bloomberg wasn't so bad. Although, speaking of no kings, he extended his term. No one seemed to give a shit. I think I'm included in that. I didn't really notice. I was like, okay, he's still there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's very anti-gun, though, so that sucked. And then we had Bill de Blasio, a socialist tard, almost as dumb. Well, he's not dumb, but almost as damaging as Zoran will be. And you go, okay, wait, don't I get a pendulum soon? Don't pendulums adhere to gravity? No, pendulum. Eric Adams, a fake cop, probably has 5 arrests under his belt. I'm the law and order guy. I'm going to teach you that your kids shouldn't secrete drugs. And then, and Bill de Blasio, remember he had that Thrive program
I don't remember
where
that.
he just gave his wife $800 million to help blacks thrive. What? It went nowhere. It was stealing. It was thievery. That's what socialists do best. They take your money. Ching. Total fucking joke. No one knows where any of the money went. He was, remember Bill de Blasio was elected? No one had heard of him. And this black kid with a giant fro, which is very cool because it means you're proud of who you are. Black kid with a giant fro said, I don't feel safe at parties. I feel like the cops are going to kill me. Oh, no.
I want to tell you a little bit about Bill de Blasio. He's the only Democrat with the guts to really break from the Bloomberg years. The only one who will raise taxes on the rich to fund early childhood and after-school programs. He's got the boldest plan to build affordable housing, and he's the only one who will end a stop-and-frisk era that unfairly targets people of color. Bill de Blasio will be a mayor for
What does that
every
even
New
mean?
Yorker, no matter where they live or what they look like. And I'd say that even if he weren't my dad.
That got him elected. That's why we used to call him the Afro Mayor, because he got elected because of his son's hair. And there's charts that show his popularity before that commercial, and just boom. All right, so we fucked up. We got a socialist. Then we get Eric Adams, and now we're gonna get this clown. I fucking hate Andrew Cuomo. Hate his guts. He's a big Proud Boy guy. He was a big part of them getting 4 years. Total shithead. He's a phony, too. I
am disabled.
His dad married into a mob-associated woman. Mario Cuomo's wife was kind of in the families. So then him and even his sons now, Chris Cuomo, they're all like, yeah, we're kind of... No, you're not, dude.
I am gay.
His dad was... Oh, was it his grandfather? I just remember this now. I think his dad, Mario Cuomo's dad, was like a petty enforcer. Like, not an enforcer. He was a guy the mob would hire to go, like, break a window or something. Now it's like, yeah, well, from the family. That's a big New York thing with Italians. They pretend they're associated with the mob when they're not. The ones associated with the mob say, what are you talking about? Murder? What murder? The ones who imply they're involved are not. Anyway, sorry, lots of tangents, but it's looking very good for an even worse mayor, which can happen in presidential politics, too. Who knows what happens after Trump? We may get stuck with another Obama. At least that's an argument for a pendulum, though, which I don't like. But anyway, last thing on Zoran. We're starting out very heavy, very serious here. I don't believe in female rabbis. I think you're bastardized the religion. It's the same with these pro-choice Catholics and the trans priests and all that stuff. You're just ruining the religion. That's not the religion. Judaism does not allow for female rabbis. That's a myth. You're a gyno. Talk to any actual Orthodox Jewish person, and no, there's no such thing. So you shouldn't be surprised then that these gynos strongly support a Zoran Mamdani, who is heavily linked to anti-Semitism, including Palestinian terrorists. But that we're Bolsheviks. These women are Bolsheviks, and they're happy to flush their own people down the toilet if it means power.
Hi, Rabbi.
Nope.
Rabbi.
Nope.
Hi, Rabbi.
Nope.
Rabbi.
Nope.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi. We're among the thousands of Jewish New Yorkers who've been out door knocking and phone banking to elect Zoran Mamdani. We're also rabbis.
No, you're
We
not.
know Zoran will fight to make our city affordable
stop.
and safe.
What even is that? So are you like Israeli? Or what is your accent? And don't you love how all these, well, we don't want to get censored, right? Trans women, they're always going bald. Because men tend to go bald. I got a bald spot back here. It's such a dead giveaway. Because women are never bald. So not only do we have to deal with this voice and everything, but, you know, you see a bald woman like 20 years ago before all this bullshit, and you were like, oh, God, are you okay? It's a big deal. I saw the movie Sin City in theaters, whenever that was. And I think this was on 10th Street in New York City. And it was a weird theater. There was a real plummet with the seats. So you were super high up. And the person below you, in front of you, I should say, kind of both, was between your knees. Like you could just play the bongos on their head if you wanted. And there was a woman in front of me who had, I counted, 6,422 hairs. Not a lot for hairs.
Yeah.
I spent the whole movie like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was traumatized by it. I felt so bad for her. Like, go to Morocco, get a man. No, go to like Turkey, get the plugs. It's like, it's as weird as having 2 dicks as a guy. It's a major deal breaker. That and pancake tits. So anyway, that's very traumatizing. And you don't laugh. You feel worried, I would say, when you see a woman who's balding. You're like, can I help? And now we, in this example, 1/5 of women are balding. And so it sort of fucks with your synapses because you sort of feel empathy, but then you go, wait, are you lying to me? Are you a dude?
Safe for our families.
And for our neighbors of all faiths and backgrounds. As New Yorkers, we're also just people who live here, who don't want to get priced out of this incredible city that we call home.
We know fellow Jews want to be able to afford housing, transportation, and childcare for their families too.
As
What
Jews,
the hell does that mean?
as rabbis, as New Yorkers, we believe that all people deserve to thrive. Zoran agrees.
But let's get real. This isn't only about belief. It's about action. So let's build a flourishing city.
Together, let's elect Zoran.
Okay, I just came up with a new theory.
Yeah.
You know how black people, real black people, like who grew up in a black community, you know how when they're with white liberals, they're sort of like, there's something not right? I think the same is true of trans women. So those gals go out, like kind of Sex in the City brunch after shooting that awesome commercial, and they start talking to each other. And I bet the trans woman is just a little off with all her things. I bet she totally overdoes it on something, like, I know, girl, screaming and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, thanks. I don't know, because I've been around women, not too many times, but I told you about the time I were at a baseball tournament and I was the only guy there. And we were not compatible. I would say things like try to solve problems for them, and they were like, ew, what are you talking about? Shut up, fag. We want to complain. So I would love to see a behind-the-scenes recording of trans women just chilling. I can't stop salivating. Must be horny for that gyno. As you know, every episode we show you people interrupting a race. And I don't mean people who marry blacks. I mean people who get in the fucking way. It drives me bonkers. And when we started this, again, I assumed we'd have 7. We are up into the low hundreds. Every fucking day there's another one of these imbeciles. Stay away from the race. And if you have a dog, leash your dog. Am I a genius? Am I the first person to ever think of such an intelligent assumption and such an intelligent rule? We started the show with a stupid rule about not playing New Zealand bands. This sounds like a smart rule to me, but no one seems to know it. So this woman, who has an air of a Native American to her, has decided, I'm just going to skip in front of this motocross Ironman thing because why? Why? Stay tuned.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm so surprised. No, we're watching this 900 times.
Okay.
So can you go, I know you can't go frame by frame, but there's a lot that happens in that first second there. So she's just a fucking sheep. So she sees her friend go in front of her, and rather than think for herself, she goes, well, my friend made it, and didn't get hit, so I'm just going to follow my pal, because that's how physics works. So that's her dumb friend. I don't even know why her friend is doing that. What do you got to get over there to do? But then she goes, like, without even looking. She's not even looking. Well, I better follow. And here comes the bike. So she really gets it on the ankle with the front tire there. Her hat's long gone. But you'll notice now, stop. Here's the other thing about motocross. You bump into this dude, he's now off the trail. So he could have flipped, he could have sent his bike into some kid's head. There's someone else he's right in front of right now who has a toddler. That's also kind of stupid. I would at least have the toddler on my shoulders or something. But the toddler's right at wheel level. Luckily, the dad is tenacious enough to grab his kid's wrist and lift him up. But she caused that. Can you see it? He grabs his kid there?
Right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And all this, oh my God, are you okay? I would go, are you fucking retarded? What's the matter with you? That's another problem. People don't get mad anymore, especially at chicks.
Yeah, kid right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've got to yell at people. Be the culture. I saw this girl on Metro North once, and we stopped at Grand Central, and she couldn't be woken up. We thought she was dead. We're slapped, going like this, shaking her. She's clearly on opioids, right? And she was a middle-class girl. And you thought, white girl, and you're thinking about her parents at home, and they're all like, hello, wait. And so she finally wakes up, and I'm like, you fucking proud of yourself? What are you doing? What are you doing, you idiot? And all the other parents are like, whoa, chill. Chill, I'm trying to save her life, you boobs. Are you aware of the environment here in New York? That's a young girl who's going to die of Oxy or whatever fucking dumb pills she's on, maybe fentanyl. But you're like, don't yell. Yell. That's the moral of my story. Yell. Like I said to Ye, the person yelling is always right. Get involved. Like these awesome scammer busters going all over Europe. It makes for great content, but it's also nice to see someone standing up, doing what's right. Not like the No Kings boomers with their white hair complaining about Trump killing their Social Security, which he's not doing. Also complaining about him doing another term, which he's not doing. I mean, I hate that they're in a box. I hate that they're in a bubble. But I also hate how easy it is to curate. Trump's a pedophile. I believe you. We're against hate. Hate has no home here. Well, you hate me, and you hate Trump, and you hate half the country. That's a lot of hate in your home. No, actually, we don't do it in the home. We'll go back and have it like a cigarette break. That's why you'll see these boomer liberals outside their homes without a cigarette, and like you'll see their breath. They're just hating. They're getting their hate out. They don't want to get any of that in the house. That's why a lot of old boomers are dying of frostbite. Because in the winters, they can't go in their home to hate, and it's all they want to do. Here's another one, if you can believe it. Now with these, I go, please be in the third world so I don't have to worry about my own culture. But some clown just couldn't leash his fucking dog. This poor woman, she's totally out of steam. But hey, boop, bite, smile. She's not even mad. What are you doing? I think he did. Did he trip her or nip her or both?
Sort of both, yeah.
So she's exhausted. She's losing her balance. She appears to be towards the end of the marathon. And this asshole just... Let's pray it's a stray dog. Maybe it's an area that's so shitty there's stray dogs everywhere. But even then, can you get the stray dogs out of the fucking race, please?
I don't see a collar, so maybe it is a stray dog.
I think she smashed her face. All right, so that's enough of that. Stray dog is a good out. We may forgive that particular scenario. Are the comments all in different languages?
Oh, on that one? No. A little bit. Some Spanish, some English.
And what do they say? Isn't it weird how some people will just comment on like, LOL.
This one says, the dog did feel bad, though.
See, that's at least a joke, so
Yeah.
there's some content there. But some people will just write like, whoa, that was a bad accident. Yeah, I know. What are you adding?
This one says the dog should have been on a leash, and then the comment to the comment is tell that to a stray. So this person thinks
Oh,
it's a
good. So
stray.
we're not the first people to go here.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of stray dogs, we should discuss the Nick podcast. A great example of how we should discuss things. Tucker called Nick a incel who lives in his basement, a gay fed, among other things. Nick called Tucker a fed, said he's everything wrong with America, he's an elitist. He goes, yes, I do live in my basement. That's the problem. You're supposed to be on our side, you turd. I had a turd. But once people are face to face, there's a little less hubris. And it was really good.
It was really good, yeah.
Mine was better, of course,
It
because
was.
I'm more fun and I have more riz. But the beginning was annoying. And I've told you before, it's my new pet peeve where people, where guys like Patrick Bet David, so let me get this straight. So then you're still in high school then? And then you transfer? When did you transfer? Like, what are you, the king of France? You get to have your guests and they have to do all the research for you? That's not fun for those of us that are familiar with the guy. So the first,
17 minutes, first 17 minutes.
at least, are a biopic. And it's the same old story we've all heard. He was pro-Israel till Cassie Dillon said, don't question Israel. And they started to question Israel, and then he's persona non grata, and they created a monster at that point. But I don't know. All I want Nick to get to, and he's not getting there, is that Jews are not a monolith. And I just can't get that through his thick goddamn skull. Fucker. Fucking incel. But, I was listening to it. It's 2 hours. So you're in the car, you're grabbing your laundry, you're winterizing the pool filter. There's still Tucker and Nick. But I thought he's doing a lot of interviews these days. What is his motive for that? And I put this on Twitter. He's trying to gain power. And I don't think he wants to gain power in the sense that El Chavez and Stalin wanted to gain power. I think he's been politically involved since he was an embryo. And you see these clowns that have power, and you go, why not me? Like, I think we all have this power. Ooh, power. You want power. And your brain goes, you want power so you can oppress people and hurt them. But I don't think Nick wants that. I think Nick is good at systems, and he thinks he could be a good politician. And he is a good politician. I disagree with him on the Jew thing. But when we really get into the Jew thing, too, like, I don't want money to going to Israel. Me neither. I think all politicians should be America first. I agree. I don't think they should have dual citizenship. Yeah. I think they really exaggerate all these dual citizenship people. Like Nancy Pelosi has Israeli citizenship and American citizenship. That's like the kind of thing you find on a TikTok. It's not actually true. Show me evidence, hard evidence that AOC is an Israeli citizen. The list is like 50 senators. I don't think it's that many. But I mean, I wasn't born in America. I can't be president. I kind of understand that. I've always said you can't be president. And again, Nick was talking about all levels of government, but I'm just talking about president now. I don't think you should be president if you're not Christian and you don't have a family. Sorry, maybe that's not true of Germany and other countries, but this is a very Christian nation. And so that's the way it should be. I don't think a Jewish woman should be the president of Mexico, for example. You should represent the people. And if you are a psychotic terrorist Muslim, you shouldn't be the mayor of our biggest city. So big reactions from that. Loomer is mad. She's mad at me. Seth Dillon, Ted Cruz, everyone's speaking out about how it was an ass-licking interview. I don't know. I thought it was really good.
Me too.
And, you know, I saw Nick at AFPAC. He's going places, sorry. You know, when I'll never forget the Dinesh D'Souza debate, by the way, is not a Wikipedia page, unlike the beginning of Tucker's and Patrick Bet David's. It gets right into the nitty-gritty, but there's a heavy scene in it where Dinesh talks about this guy, he's like a museum mogul, and he says, you know, this guy was technically, he was born in America, but he has Israeli ties, and should he not get involved? And I know I'm ruining this story by not knowing that guy's actual name, but it was like Seth Dolahanovich or some weird name. And in debates when people bring up things you haven't heard of, like the Cass Accord of 1901, and you're like, Nick's heard of all those things. So he's very familiar with this particular dude. And fried Dinesh, not overall, the debate was pretty darn even.
I feel like I'm a toad.
But in that one part, and that's a very rare talent, to not just know your arguments, but know the other side's arguments. You know, you're arguing about flat Earth with people. They bring up shit you're supposed to know, which just sounds insane. But really smart people know the Earth is a globe, but they also know why you don't think it is and explain where you're wrong. Now you know you have two people's brains, your brain and your opponent's brain. That is a gift, I'd say, 0.001% of the population have. Which brings us to Trump.
Should we kick the YouTuber?
Oh yeah, let's kick everyone off. So please subscribe to Compound Censored. I don't understand why you won't spend $10 a month to have unlimited joy in your life. These little clips on YouTube are censored, ironically. They don't even have swear words there. We play the music at the beginning. We show the movie clips. All these things we're not allowed to do. We show naked ladies. We show a car accident where someone's head pops off. There are no rules here. We warn you before we show those things, like maggots. But it's no holds barred. Wee bit of sanity in a world gone mad. So goodbye, freeloaders. I guess I'll see you next Monday. But until then, get fired, get in trouble, be brave, and never stop fighting. Okay?